So then there's someone, again, someone so fucked up in their head that they're so involved in this process. I'm going to make sure that Phil is going to go out of business. So what did they do? They literally went back and watched my videos from 2010 where I stated how I got trademarked for Darkside Phil. And they said, I know what I can do. I'm going to get the trademark for DSP Gaming, which is Phil's YouTube channel now. And if I get the trademark for DSP Gaming, I can go to YouTube and I can either get the shut Phil down, because I can say I own the trademark and he has no legal right to do this, or I could extort him. I could blackmail him and say, hey, I'll give you the trademark if you pay me such and such amount of money. This is a sick person, all right? Someone who hates me. I've never met this person, never personally done anything against this person. They hate me so fucking much, they literally want to put me out of business and make me have to go do something else for a living. Regardless of the fact that there's so many thousands of people who enjoy my content on a daily basis, people who've said, Phil, you really turned my day around, all the positivity that's come out of what I've done, because somehow I rubbed them the wrong way, they want to end me. Okay? This is true. I'm not lying. This is actually happening. So I heard some rumors about this. So people were coming to me in emails and stuff saying, Phil, I don't know if you got wind of this yet, but this guy's publicly talking about how he's going to take your trademark or whatever. I said, okay, fine. You know what? Fair enough. I should have trademarked DSP Gaming a couple of years ago when I started making my living off of it. That's my fault. Okay? So I went to the same company who I trademarked Darkside Phil through. Okay? And I submitted an application to trademark DSP Gaming. I said, fair enough. I don't care what this guy's doing. I'm going to do it. Now, let me tell you about this process. The process is expensive. Just to initially file, it costs like $100, but then to actually go through with the filing and own the trademark costs over $300 again. So the whole process really costs around $500, okay? It's an expensive process. So I did the initial steps to do this or whatever, we're going through it. And then what you do when you're doing these initial process steps, okay, is you need to do a few things. The first thing you need to do to file a trademark in the United States is prove without a shadow of a doubt that you are the owner of that entity, that trademark. It's you. And that you've been using it for business purposes. So in the case of Darkside Phil, I had to show, look, here's my YouTube channel. Here's proof of ownership that I own the YouTube channel. Here's all the content. Here's where I created it, the date I created it, linked to my name. I gave him screen grabs. I gave him all the info and went right through like that. And I got the Darkside Phil trademark. DSP Gaming was very similar. I think, okay, here's the screen, here's all this. I gave him all the information. So I had to prove up front that I was the owner of DSP Gaming, or else how can I trademark it, right? If you don't have proof that you have been using something for business purposes and you file a trademark, it's actually illegal. It's called fraud, because you're trying to say that you have a legal right to that name when you don't, because you haven't been using it for business or anything like that, okay? So I give all the information I provided to them. And it took them a little while to process it. They kind of, I'll be honest, they dropped the ball and took like a month to process it, which they should not have done. And so finally they process it, and they do what's called a search, a trademark search on the U.S. trademark website. And what they did is they ran a search, and they found that someone, and it was, of all people, the person who had been bragging on the internet they were going to try to get my trademark, made a claim or a file for DSP Gaming as a trademark on April 2nd, 2014. Now, this doesn't mean they have the trademark. I just want to make everyone understand that. It just means that initially that was filed on April 2nd, 2014. It takes the trademark office upwards of 8 months, if not longer, to review the thing, finally get to it, make sure that that person has the legal right to that trademark, grant the trademark, and then officially publish it and send them the packet saying you own that trademark, okay? So all this person has done is basically said, I'm going to file for it and see what happens, okay? So I'm looking at this, and the first thing, it's absolutely hilarious, because the person is so dumb. What they don't realize is that to file for a United States trademark, you have to give your name and a real verifiable address, which they did and is publicly fucking listed on the website. And I'm just looking at it like, so I know who it is? Like, how stupid can you be that you didn't know? You literally revealed your own personal info and your fucking address to the world by filing for this trademark. How stupid can you be, right? Here's the other thing that this person obviously doesn't know, or else is just really dumb to not know, okay? Is that in order to have a trademark granted to you, as I said, you need to prove that you legally are the owner of some kind of a business purpose of this trademark for a period of time. Now, what the U.S. Trademarks Office job is to do is when someone files for a new trademark to search and see who has ever used that name in the past. So in my case, they Dark Side Phil with a Y, and they said no one's ever said Dark Side Phil with a Y, so he's free and clear. In this case, they're going to look for DSP Gaming. They're going to see who in the past has ever used DSP Gaming and are they currently still using it. Immediately, if you just search for DSP Gaming on the internet, you're going to find my fucking YouTube channel. So it's a 2-second thing for the U.S. Trademark Office to realize there's already someone using this. They didn't necessarily file for it, but it's not the person who's trying to claim it, okay? Now, there's 2 scenarios here that I can think of. Number one would be that this guy who's trying to steal the trademark from under my nose is trying to say he's starting up a new business. Oh, I have a new business called DSP Gaming. It'll be a new website. And that's the evidence maybe that he showed when he tried to file for the trademark originally. That is possible. But there's also a very strong reason or a very strong chance that this guy basically just did, like I did, a screen grab of my YouTube channel and claimed that he owned it. So he's basically, again, lying. It's actually illegal to do that. It's fraud. He's fraudulently representing himself to the U.S. Trademark Office, and it's actually a crime where he can go to jail for it or get lots of fines for it, okay? But this guy thinks it's a joke. Obviously, he thinks it's a joke that he's going to try to steal my trademark out from under my nose, all right? So at this point, I get the search results, and it says someone had already filed for it on April 2nd. I'm like, ridiculous. It's just, I couldn't believe it, first of all. I was like, there's actually someone on planet Earth who's so fucked up in the head to think that I have personally insulted them and attacked them to the point where they're going to try to spend hundreds of dollars. Because, again, to start the whole process, it's hundreds of dollars. This person has spent hundreds of dollars to try to file a trademark for DSP Gaming. They're that fucked up in the head. They're mentally ill. And people say, oh, Phil, you shouldn't say that. Tell me a sane person who would do this. Because if you were sane, you would do the research and find out this guy doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of actually getting this trademark. All right? So finally I said, all right, enough is enough. And as of this week, I had a couple meetings. I've contacted a lawyer. I am in talks with a lawyer. In fact, I have another meeting scheduled for this coming Tuesday, early afternoon. So I may be a little bit late to the first stream on early afternoon on this coming Tuesday, where I'm talking with a lawyer. And as of the next couple weeks, I'm going to be going through the legal process to get a cease and desist on this idiot who thinks that he can get my trademark, because I have every legal way to prove I own DSP Gaming. I've been making it my livelihood for the past several years. Machinima has been partnered with me and paying me for things on DSP Gaming. It is my property, not this guy's. This guy has no history of using DSP Gaming in the past, and therefore he has no legal claim towards the trademark. Now, I'm actually debating taking criminal actions against him for all of this fraud that he's committed, basically to try to steal the trademark out from under me. So I'm sure someone is going to tell him about this video. Guess what, buddy? You failed, all right? Your information is literally public on the internet right now. Everyone knows who you are and where you fucking live because you're an idiot, all right? I highly recommend that you contact the U.S. Trademark Office and tell them you're going to withdraw your claim for DSP Gaming, because if you don't, you're going to be in very big trouble very soon. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want on planet Earth to try to hurt people who you don't know, all right? And I will use the full extent of the law to make sure that my business and my livelihood is protected against assholes like you. So you better get to it, because if you don't, I'll tell you right now, you're going to be in trouble. Okay? It may take a little while for me to legally go through with this lawyer and get everything set and send it to you, and we'll show up right at your front door, a nice legal packet, cease and desist, or you're going to be sued. You better do it, okay? So I hate to talk about this shit. I really do. I hate to talk about this shit publicly. I don't want to talk about this shit publicly. I don't. But I have to when all this stuff is going on behind the scenes, and now I have to take time out from my streams, and I'm getting phone calls, I have to do meetings because this guy, okay? So, what I will say is this right now, and I'm making this abundantly clear to everyone. By no means am I giving anyone permission, nor am I telling you that it is my will that you attack this person just because they were so dumb they didn't realize that all their fucking personal information was going to be open and available on the fucking internet because they're so stupid. Do not contact the person. Do not harass the person. I do not condone it. I cannot control what you do. And keep in mind, the haters will say that I am responsible for what people do. No. I can't control people, all right? I do not condone if people go and do this. In fact, I will tell you right now, you're a fucking asshole if you go and you attack this guy. Don't do it, all right? But I can't, you know what I mean? I'm just going to say that up front. Don't do it. Because I'm already taking the legal, proper steps to make sure that this gets taken care of. And the bottom line is, it's not a big deal. It's actually not a big deal because I was going to file for the trademark for DSP Gaming anyway. It's just that this kind of put a fire under my ass and said, Phil, you should do it now rather than later because some asshole might try to do stupid, underhanded shit like this, which is exactly what happened. And again, I hate to have to bring it up, but people have been asking me all week about it. People have been asking me on Twitter, sending me messages about it. And I said, let me just come clean and explain the whole story to everyone right now. Right now, I'm in talks with a lawyer. We are going to get it taken care of. And if this guy knows what's best for him, he'll lay off or else he's going to be in a lot of fucking hot water very soon. End of story. Okay?